Check, 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 check. What's up, guys? How we doing? Welcome to the pre-show for Ironman. We're gonna get just a second. Let people get in here. As soon as you guys get in here, hit me up. Yeah, let's drop some questions. Let's figure out what's going on. Who's gonna win Ironman? We got all sorts of stuff to talk about today. We got the Deegan. We got Deegan's debut. We've got Tomac and Sexton just going absolutely savage. Let's see. Real JD, what up? Rob B. Deegan ain't running. What do you mean he ain't running? He is running. Yeah. Luca, what up, my man? What up, my man? Just saw you over in the other chat room. Let's see. You guys hear me okay? Tats Boris, good morning, Cooksy. Shout out. Hey, good morning to you, Tats. So, what's up, Chris Stark, Timothy Saworski. All right, guys. Chill down on the shout outs. So, we're going to start with the 250s today. I'm excited about the 250s. And what can we say? I mean, the 450s have been the show. They've been so badass. You're probably in the afternoon out there. So, shit. Goddamn Wi-Fi. Sorry about that, guys. I even paid extra for better Wi-Fi, and it still does that sometimes. So I apologize for that. Hopefully it will stay stable most of the time. What do you guys think? Okay, so let's start with Ironman. I got one thing to talk about is holy shit. When I look at the Godzilla jump, and I look at how they go up it, this launch, and then they go down it. Down it is what's absolutely scary. Like, could you imagine having an issue? It's like falling off a cliff. I'm not going to lie, I cringe every time they launch down it, but when they do it, it looks so butter. And I'm curious to see how the scoop tire works on this track today. Yeah, we'll get to the Deegan. Let's just get to the Deegan thing first. What a bitch move. So a lot of times when I do my videos, I go on Instagram and I pull pictures from the riders just to add it in, make it look better. And it just adds to my videos because you don't want to just see my face while I'm talking. So I put pictures of the riders, kind of help tell the story. Well, I grabbed some off of Deegan's, and I'm like, wait a second. They blocked me on Instagram. That's strange. Because honestly, you guys, okay, tell me if I've said anything negative about Hayden Deegan. Because I don't think I have. I think I've been very complimentary of Hayden Deegan and his skills and how good he is. Yeah, definitely Danger's the talk of the town. He's the story. It is what it is. But yeah, they blocked me on Instagram. What a coward-ass move. It's not working. Let's see. How's that, guys? Any better? Should have the mic working good. So if that's not good enough, just let me know. I can crank it up. I can give it more gain. It's working? Okay. So, yeah, they blocked me on Instagram, which is silly because the only reason they blocked me on Instagram is because, yeah, I know it's buffering. My Wi-Fi sucks, man. You know what they're afraid of? They're afraid of me calling out on their bullshit. Because exactly what Brian Deegan did was he called me a liar, said I was making stuff up, when in reality, he was the one that was making it up. And he probably doesn't want me to see that stuff. So if you guys see him talk shit on me, please just send me over the clip, and I'll just log in from somebody else. And yeah, I'll log in from somebody else's and then just take a look at it, screenshot it, and put it back up. But like, what does that really do? Really does nothing. It just shows how cowardice they are and how they don't really want me to see what they're doing. And yeah, so, and Brian is definitely on some sort of PEDs. You can see it in his face, but you know what? So what? A lot of older people are. It's actually not a bad thing in my opinion. It's not like he's competing and doing some stuff. Anyway, yeah, I thought that was very cowardice of those guys. What a bunch of chicken shits to block me on Instagram. If you go on their Instagram, please harass them for it and let them know that that's a chicken shit move. It's a bad look. Like, for somebody who makes his living off of social media and who has built an empire on it, it's embarrassing. So yeah, he won't get boobs from steroids. They got that all dialed in. They use they take the estrogen blockers, and yeah, so yeah, he's not the only one on PEDs. Yeah, believe me, if we want to talk about PEDs, I would take a look at I'll just say this. When the guys get off the track, just look and see who's tired and who's breathing hard and who's the guys that are on the podium that aren't even sweating. So Oh, I don't know. Quads are okay. I don't know why I like quads. I don't know. 805 Vaughn, you're down on them showing quads, but I'm okay with it. So, all right, guys, in the 250 class, yeah, stupid Dakani. Speaking of Peds, Sexton with a question mark. Um, if there's smoke, there's fire. Listen, I've just never. He's either a freak of nature, who I've never ever seen in on Earth. He has cardio that makes Lance Armstrong look ridiculous, or he's probably taking something. I don't know. I have zero proof. But when I look at him after the moto, I'm not going to lie. That looks like a guy who might be using EPO, but I don't think he's the only one, just FYI. So, yeah, but that's the thing is I don't care. Yeah, hey, Ben, Jam, and Mahan, I'm with you. I say there's no real testing. They cannot test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say, hey, just do what you got to do. When there's more money to pay these guys and they can pay all the way through, like say, I don't know, pro football, and you want to have a testing policy or pro baseball, that's fine. But when you don't even pay these guys, when these guys pay to go race, you're not allowed to test them, in my opinion. I don't think you should. And that's just my opinion. Coach Rob and I go back and forth. He disagrees with me. He really wants it to keep a level playing field. I do too, but it's not the most important thing on the radar. So, all right, guys, 250s. Justin Cooper looked like an absolute savage in practice. He's pissed. He's pissed that people like me, and specifically, I'm pretty sure he's mad at me, that he was sick last week. He had COVID, and he went out there and kind of laid an egg. Probably shouldn't even have been racing. But he looks today to feel better, and just he wants to win. I mean, he put down a lap time. He did a 2:03. Second fastest was Hunter Lawrence at a 2:01.8. I mean, that's a big gap, guys. Like, that's huge. He's good at this track. He's a good starter. MXG, hey, that's a badge of honor. Deegan blocked you on TikTok too. Yeah, maybe I have to follow him on TikTok. I don't know. I'm not even on TikTok. I'm a little old for that one. Yeah, Jason Lawrence. I thought he was coming out to race. Whatever. But I like J-Law. It would just be awesome. I actually advised he not, which is probably the better idea. So I think Justin Cooper is going to dominate today. I think he's going to go out there and just let everyone know, hey, listen, I'm on the Designations team for an absolute reason. Let's see. Cooksey, 250 class. I'm calling RJ Hampshire. Boy, he wasn't fast in practice, though. He was ninth, 2:03.4. I don't think so. But you know, RJ, who the hell knows? Like, he could win. He could get ninth. He could DNF. He could win one moto, DNF the other. He's the most exciting and enigmatic rider that I've ever seen. Like, he's crazy. Deegan will definitely. I would say top 10. I got a little excited on my prediction show, or on the on my Chris notes, and I had him inside the top 5. It depends, because I forgot how different the tracks are for amateurs and pros. And the amateurs, they even if they prep it the way they're supposed to, when they run the combine, they don't get the same track. It's just different on race day. With that many guys, it gets rougher, it gets gnarlier. It's going to take a second for Deegan to get used to that. Once he gets used to it, he'll absolutely be there. So Keith Terrier, hello from Japan. An Aussie in Japan. What up, Keith? Okay, so I got Justin Cooper. I think he's going to go 1-1 today. Just put the smackdown on him. I think Joe Shimoda is going to get second, just because he's so good right now, and he's so consistent. He's going to be there, and if Cooper slips up at all, Joe will win. Jet is going to ride fast, but he's also very conservative. He's got a championship to lose, and he's kind of got that mode where he's got a 30-point lead. It's not a full race. If you have a full race, Coach Rob Beams, good morning, legend. You're the legend, my man. So, Coach Rob. So, but yeah, I fully believe Jet is in kind of conservative mode. If he had a 50-point lead, he could go for it. Because then if you have an issue and you're out for the day, you can still come back and win it. But 50 is the magic number where you can really feel comfortable. Yeah, so he's going to just play it safe. I look for him to go third. Hunter Lawrence, I want him to do good, but gosh, when it happens like what it did with when you're a racer or an athlete or just kind of anything in general, and you're Hunter Lawrence, like once it starts going bad, it almost feels like the harder you try, the harder it gets. Like you're swimming upstream. It's just it's tough. Hunter Lawrence is there. I don't see him. He almost needs to just take a break, like, and he will after the next race, and kind of reset. So single track 461. You look like a younger Joe Rogan. Hey, that's a compliment. Joe's the man. I love Joe Rogan. If I can, anytime you can compare me to Joe Rogan or Chael Sonnen or any of those guys, hell yeah. So let's see. And so I got Hunter. Unfortunately, even though he's better than fourth, he's going to be around fourth place today. It just starts to happen that way. And I got Levi Kitchen. This is awesome. So I did not let Levi Kitchen broke his arm after Southwick, and he is so talented. And he won a moto. He's been on 2 podiums. I didn't even think he'd come back this year. Like, really, what does he have too much to gain? He doesn't. Luca Chael, yeah, he is the GOAT. So he is the best. Where was that? Oh, Levi Kitchen. Yeah, Levi Kitchen. He's so talented. The fact that he came back shows that he has heart. He wants to be out there. I don't know if he has 2 full motos in him, but I think he'll be in the top 5. Unless he has the first moto where he gets out there and just shoots his wad and goes for a win or goes for a second or something. So, oh, what is this? Now I look like Mel Gibson. Oh, man. Hopefully I don't leave voicemails like Mel Gibson. Woo. Yeah, I got Deegan. And like I said, I'm going to back off that 5th place top 5 that I had earlier. I think I'm going to go ahead and say Deegan. I think he's going to be right around top 10. I think he's going to fight hard. And I think he's going to be right there with Thrasher, Ferris, DeFrancisco, Jalik Swoll, Derek Drake, all those guys around that are going to be battling around that 10th place position, give or take. And 10th place is awesome. So Gavin Towers was way back, not so good. And I have some information on Gavin Towers. He looks like 25th fastest at like a 207. Gavin Towers got smoked. They sent him down to the Goat Factory, and Coach could probably elaborate on this more than I can. They sent him there for a camp for Loretta's. And unfortunately, I don't think they do a lot of checking of your vital signs and numbers. It's all old school, like Rocky shit. Just, hey, work harder. If you're tired, work harder. If you can't do this, work harder. But you will run your body. Your body has a physical chemistry, like Coach could say. Anyway, so you can run it. You can run your body dead, and that's what they do down there. They run those guys to the ground, and these kids that their bodies aren't fully developed, like Gavin Towers, wrecked them. Overtraining, just mashed them. So, yeah, and they're not, like Coach just says in the comments here, you're not able to absorb the work, and the goat farm is notorious for that. And I have a theory on that. I have a theory because I think this is my opinion. So I believe Ricky Carmichael was using some supplements, and his mom may or may not have known that. And she thought, well, anyone, if he did it, anyone can do it, which is not true. Everybody has different biochemistries and different, what they eat's different, what they sleep's different. It's just different. So, yeah. Oh man, record Fish Hunter. You should get a chance to be in the booth, man. I would love to be in the booth, but I'll tell you what, with my relationship with MX Sports and Feld, they don't even want me in the pits, let alone in the booth. I would love that. Yeah, but then that's the thing is they won't let anyone in that booth that they can't control what they say. Yeah, see, uncensored. They wouldn't let me in that booth because they know I'm going to say what I see, and I'm going to call it what it is, and I'm going to point out things like, we'll move on to the 450s here. I'm going to just start with, speaking of uncensored, Chase Sexton said that he had COVID last year at Ironman, which is interesting because that's the race they banned Grant Langston from because he didn't get the vaccine. Yet they've got an actual racer admitting he had COVID. How many other people had COVID? So you're gonna block a commentator who doesn't have any contact with the fans, who's in a little tent. So it just shows you that the hypocrisy of MX Sports and Davey Coombs and all those jackasses. The fact that they'll, of course, anyone who can bring in money, say the riders, you can go ahead and just run whatever you got. We're going to look the other way. But if you're part of their plan, they want you out, they'll just use it. It's selective rules, and that's complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. But at the same time, yeah, they're constantly stepping on their own dicks. It's ridiculous. I really hope, yeah. Cody MacArthur, he might be fighting long COVID. I'll tell you what, people give me shit and they say, oh, you had the flu, you didn't have COVID. I had COVID according to the doctor. When I went in there, it was intensive care. And long COVID is a bitch. I have struggled with it this entire year. I just recently had a cold, and it hit me 100 times harder because of long COVID, is at least my opinion. Gosh, coach, they spent a ton on, well, let me rephrase that. MX Sports didn't spend jack shit on testing last year. They just took your word for it. Unless you were one of their employees, anyone who's a part of the show, just the rules don't apply. Yeah. So anyway, so so the track today, I'm going to get back into the track. Track looks like it was kind of muddy in practice. It's going to get hard. I think that Tomac will be able to get away with that scoop tire for the first moto, but it's gonna get him. I don't think that second moto. I'm picking Sexton to win today. He might not win the first moto. Adam, it's okay. The CDC said they're sorry. Fuck the CDC. Yeah, I don't want to listen. I could turn this thing into the entire way that they did the vaccines and everything is a complete shit show. But I don't want to get deplatformed here because they still do that if I trash them or say anything about it. I'm going to start another podcast called Cooksy All Day Every Day, and I'll be able to talk that stuff. And I don't care if they deplatform that one because that'll just be a small one just for fun. I've been meaning to do that. I just haven't got around to it. So I'll have to do that and talk about all the CDC crap and what they've done. So, oh my God. Zaphoid Beeblebox. Wygant sends me dick pics sometimes. He has a weird dick. That might be the best comment of the day. Holy shit. That's actually really funny. So, Jim's Garage. Yeah, myocarditis. They checked me for myocarditis. I didn't have that, but my heart rate went way up. So anyway, so I got Sexton winning today because of the harder packed ground. I think Tomac will probably win the first moto. And I just, with that scoop tire, he's just at a disadvantage. And a lot of this track has a lot of those kind of sweeping turns. And that's where sweeping turns and that scoop tire don't work. That's like RJ Hampshire, how he high-sided in that first practice. Yeah. And then Jason Anderson. Jason Anderson just looks loose, fast, and he looks like he's having a good time out there. Jason Anderson's an absolute savage, and it's crazy with 2 rounds left. You'd think Anderson would be kind of mailing it in, but he looks loose, fast on the bike. He's just fun, man. He's just a good day. So, Cooksy all day, every day on D's Nuts. Yeah, Rogan is absolutely the podcast guy. I mean, he's literally the one that got me listening to podcasts. And Roxon today, I have him out of the top 5. So, okay, so I got Sexton, Tomac, Anderson third, and I'm going for a little bit of a surprise in fourth. He was fast in practice. I think he's feeling a little bit spited for not being on the designations team. Christian Craig. I got Christian Craig at in fourth place. He rides this track really good. The big jumps don't seem to scare him for some reason. He's just kind of a beast that way. He's very technical, and a lot of these kind of pre-jump sections, that's where Craig is really good. I have Plessinger at 5th just because he's really, really good at Ironman. He's won here before. I believe he got his first 250 win at Ironman, if I remember correctly. That's off the cusp, so don't quote me. And Dungey, I would love to see him get up there, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. He doesn't have the speed. He did a 202.4. I mean, he's 4 seconds a lap off Chase Sexton, which that's different. I mean, you really just got to compare him with the other guys. But he's still 2 seconds off Christian Craig, Ken Roxon, and almost a second off of Anderson. So I don't see him, I don't see him doing too well. But big disappointment. And I'm not going to jump the gun on this like I did last time when Joey Savacci got hurt. Joey Savacci was down hard and looked to be sitting in an awkward position like he had some sort of a leg injury. Johnny Hopper sounds like his nuts are in a vice. I don't necessarily agree with that, Chris Stark. Please don't trash my buddy Johnny Hopper, unless he's here and he can defend himself. Johnny's the man, and Johnny's a badass. His nuts might be in a vice, but he's still a complete savage. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'm with 805 Vaughn. They're all on steroids. Quoting Nate Diaz. This track doesn't seem easy to pass on. This track to me, that was be Fedub. Does this track seem easy to pass on? No, it does not. This track is it's a pretty gnarly track. I think it's gonna the way when they put that much mud on it and it ruts up quickly, the ruts become harder to harder to deal with. Coach Rob, Johnny and Cooksey in the booth. Boy, yeah, they would have a heart attack. The industry would freak out. They'd have to have bodyguards for us when we left because they'd want to assassinate us. JR, I do think Deegan's going to be top 10. Real JD, thank you for your support, man. I always see you in there commenting and liking, and I appreciate it. It looks like it's going to get pretty hot today. Ironman, hey, what do you guys think of Brock Glover in the booth? I love Brock Glover in the booth, but then I'm probably partial because Brock Glover is one of my favorite all-time riders. He's one of the nicest guys that I've ever had a pleasure to deal with. When I was racing Supermoto, he gave me the good tires that were supposed to go to Jeff Ward. They even have Jeff Ward's number written on them because he saw I qualified good. Walked over to me on the starting line. I was second row, and he pointed out a little line to cut inside. I came out of the first turn in third place, and I was like, Brock Glover gave me advice. I was so excited. It just like it literally, ever since then, I've always loved Brock, and I've got to watch. I watched Supercross with him back in the day. He was up in the press box with us. He'd come down and sat down with me and remembered me from Supermoto, which is shows you what a quality person he is. Sat down and we just talked. And it was literally when I watched the race with Brock in the booth or in the in the press box, we were talking just like he is in the booth. It's awesome. Like that's truly who Brock Glover is. He's not like when I talk to Jeff Emig, it's a little different. He's putting on a show and really trying to be an announcer, which is cool. But Brock is Brock. He might be a little boring, but that's just who he is. And I don't know. He's so intelligent, though. He is definitely one of the smartest guys. He got out early enough. I don't think he has a ton of concussion issues. And yeah, so yeah. Hey, Josh Van Horbeek. Josh Van Horbeek. Wait a second. You sound like a Van Horbeek, isn't there? There's a GP rider, Van Horbeek. But anyway, yeah, JS7 was he was great in the booth. I loved it. As long as and that's what I want in the booth. I want authenticity. I think the worst guy in the booth this year was Villapoto. God, he was awful. I expected him to be a little bit better, but he's just so vanilla. I was like, dude. And he kept trying to throw in like TV cliches and stuff. I'm like, just be yourself. When you're yourself, whatever you are, some people are going to dislike you. But for the most part, if you're authentic, people can appreciate that. Even if they don't like you, they can appreciate you're not fake. Fake, everyone hates fake. So, man, I cannot wait. Honestly, guys, my hands are sweating waiting for this 450 race. I literally cannot wait to see Sexton and Tomac. We have 4 motos in what is the most historic series of my time. Richard Palacios, Jeremy Martin is authentic, and he was so good. Disappointing news about Jeremy Martin. He has decided not to come back for any of the races. Oh, Mad March. Oh, boy. Tell him about sawing off the front end of the South African champion in Supermoto. Yeah, I may have done that. I may have gone a little Justin Barsha on him, but he was kind of a dick. I don't know if you guys know Daryl Atkins. He was South African before Langston. He came to a race here. Mad March open. He chopped me pretty hard. So coming to the next turn, I just parked him. Then he wanted to fight me after, and I said, sure. And I dropped my bike, and he rode off. So, but yeah, we made up later, but I still never really liked him. It's the same guy that Mickey Diamond, who's literally one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. Mickey Diamond got tired of Daryl Atkins slamming him, so he parked him to win the Supermoto Unlimited Championship in Reno, if you guys remember that. So, Rob B, you're killing me. You're killing me with us. We just dick pics are just selfies. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I'm sorry, you're killing me with those. But and what do you guys think of? Let me see. Who do you guys think is going to win? 450s. Mickey Diamond, awesome. Oh, dude, yeah, on the Mickey Gall or Mark Gall. I was thinking Mickey Gall, the UFC fighter, but no, Mark Gall. Yeah, Mickey Diamond was absolutely. He's seriously one of the best people that I've ever dealt with. So he was nice. He's a beast on the bike too. Uh, yeah, Jet will absolutely smoke Deegan, no doubt. Jet could beat Deegan with a flat tire. So let's see. Rob, you would try. You would try what? I'm not sure. Uh, Tomac today, Sexton next week. Yeah, Tomac, guys, just so you know, I think Tomac is in a must win situation. I think Tomac needs to go 1-1 today because I'm pretty sure that next week Sexton's going to go 1-1. Tomac doesn't seem to like that Paula track. It doesn't seem to be the best one for him. Um, Jonesy 329, why are you salty the Deegans are doing good? I'm not salty the Deegans are doing good. In fact, this is the most anticipated debut of a rookie probably ever. I mean, Alessi's was pretty big. I'm super happy of what the Deegans have done and where they're coming from, but they forgot what got them here. What got them here was their authenticity, was their social media, was being a little bit of a rebel. Now they are the establishment. Now they're putting down other people like they used to get put down. It's really quickly how they forgot. I'm not salty. I'm absolutely excited, and I'm excited to see what they bring to this sport. And I mean, shit, I can tell just from my numbers when I talk about Hayden Deegan, the numbers go up. He's probably the most popular rider. But with that said, just know all these guys he's racing against. So he's going to be in a pack with Hammaker, Mosman, Thrasher, Hampshire, Volin, Ferris, DeFrancisco, Swoll, maybe around Lawrence's, Cooper, Schmoda. These guys don't appreciate all the love he's getting. And if you think for 1 second they're not going to rough him up, they absolutely will. It happened to Michael Essie. Like Coach said, what was the quote? It's like I slept with all their girlfriends. That's what's going to happen to Deegan today. And that's why I'm backing off the 5th place, because he's going to get roughed up. These guys are not going to go easy on him. They don't appreciate him. He's going to have to earn his way through. And it's going to be tough for him. But you're going to see any of these guys. I mean, you don't think that Derek Drake and Jalik Swoll appreciate all the attention that Hayden Deegan's got, and that you know, whether it's right or wrong, if they see Deegan in front of them, they're going to give a little extra effort. Or if Deegan's coming up to pass them, they're not going to give way. Swamp Picker, good morning to you too. He did sound a little intimidated in practice. But it is intimidating. You got to understand, this is a kid who's had I can't even imagine the amount of pressure that's coming down on him right now, which is awesome. And his dad is, yeah, they roughed up Alessi his whole career. That never changed. But I think Hayden will be a little different. I think, yeah. Hold on. Niall Diggs, what did you just say? How did you get AC sick, Coach? He did not get AC sick. I don't know what you're talking about. When Coach had AC, Coach consistently checked his numbers and had him absolutely dialed in. And if you want, go over to CompleteRacingSolutions.com and check out Coach Rob's programs. He checks numbers. He builds a program specifically for people. Yeah, he got sick after that when he went to, I believe it was the Baker's factory. When there's a cookie cutter program where they just push you to the ground and don't check, and they say this guy did it so you can do it, and they don't, like, it's a lot more complicated than that, and Coach knows that. AC will be back next year, I believe. It's probably good that he got everything healthy. Yeah, you know what? It's not Deegan's fault that the adults are around him. I 100% agree. That whole thing. First off, if I'm around Hayden Deegan, I wouldn't have had him on a factory bike. That's stupid to have him on a factory bike. First off, all you're doing is you're giving him too high of expectations. Now he's racing kids and having an advantage, so it's a false sense of speed. Now, he didn't need it. If you put him on a regular bike, he still dominates. And then he gets that boost when he goes to the pros, when he gets an actual factory bike. Unfortunately, he won't get that boost because he's been on one for a long time. And yeah, the way they handled it, they should have just sold the bike. If you're going to bring a factory bike to there and it gets claimed, keep it. Leave him alone. Instead, the way they did it, they literally stained his name. They absolutely stained his name. So trip transport. Yeah, that great question for Coach. What's your favorite Garmin watch? I use which one do I have? The Phoenix 6 or Phoenix 5, or I can't remember which one I have, but I don't know. It doesn't matter as long as you get one that does what you need to. Look at the sports you do and make sure it covers it. So, but Coach could probably expand on that. 392 Reese, stop crying. Who are you talking to? Are you at home bawling? Did we hurt your feelings, Reese? Sorry. Give Tomac credit. After all, he's a 3-time champ. Pinwheel. I always give Tomac credit. And my all-time list, I had Tomac 3, just so you know, if you don't think I'm giving him credit. Tomac is an absolute savage. He probably should have more championships, but he kind of got bummed out on the Kawasaki and just kind of let those other two go. Zach Osborne was the COVID year. Eli wasn't happy with his bike, quit twice. They actually bent the rules for him. So there was some weird stuff. So my all-time outdoor list there's a YouTube video on that, 805 Vaughn, where I did the top 10. Record Fish Hunter. Thanks for clubbing the balls. I appreciate it, man. That's all I can do. What can I say? It's easier to be authentic and tell the truth. When you start lying and covering up, it never stops. Coach Rob, any thoughts on Sexton and no HRC clothing? If you guys noticed when they did the interview, Sexton was not wearing anything HRC. I think that's the first time I've seen him do that. Was that? Listen, I said some stuff to him. Was that a little silent protest? Like, hey, F you guys, and I'm just going to wear Monster and Oakley. We'll see. But that's going to be an awkward year if they can't figure out how to make it work when you're a lame duck, when you know you're leaving. I don't know if you guys have ever done it where you leave a job and you got that month or 2 weeks before where you're leaving. Everyone knows you're leaving, and it's a real awkward time. And I would probably have, if I'm Chase, I probably would have waited to sign that contract. But then again, we don't know what it looks like. Maybe it's this gigantic contract that wouldn't have been there. Maybe KTM said sign this insane deal, or So KTM has done a lot with the bike. They are, quiet quitting. That's a great way to do it. Quiet quitting. Absolutely. So KTM has figured out that bike's a piece of shit. This bike this year has been garbage, and I almost think they're giving a lot of people a pass, but they're still pissed about it. And to get DeCoster to agree that it was the bike, good luck with that. He's done a lot in the sport, but I'm not a big a fan. Coach likes him more than I do. I think the sport has passed him by. I don't want to disrespect him because he's probably forgotten, done more than most anyone ever, but I don't think he is with it anymore. So no chance, Coach. Honda wants his championship bad. Yeah, they want him. They want him really bad. What did Coach say? Parts falling off the bike for Sexton. That did happen earlier in the year. The side panel, something fell off. But yeah, and then the parts were falling off his bike the same day that that was the day that Jet's bike shut down. So, but anyway, guys, hey, that's about 34 minutes. Thank you, guys. Honestly. The mob, the Cooksey mob, Coach Rob, thank you for jumping in here. My buddy Mad March for the old Supermoto story. You guys kick ass. I really appreciate everything. And yeah, let's watch this race. All-time great. I'm going to try and get Kenny Watson. My buddy Kenny Watson, I've been trying to get him on for a podcast for a while because I know he's tight with the Deegans. In fact, Brian Deegan called him and asked for my number and then chickened out calling me. So I called and asked for Deegan's and they wouldn't give it to me. So I emailed him crickets. Like, he's just afraid to talk to me. Which that's embarrassing that dude's such a coward that he won't even talk to me. So anyway, Kung Fu to help write your mom forever. Oh my gosh. Horrible. You're horrible. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the love. I'm trying to get Watson. His Wi-Fi sucks. If you know Kenny, his knowledge of motocross and everything is very, very high. His knowledge of technology and Zoom calls, not so good. So working on it. If you guys need to get in shape, hit up Coach Rob, CompleteRacingSolutions.com. If you need some supplements or if you have anything to do with injections, TRT, for those of you who have erectile dysfunction, anything like that, hit up Steel City Men's Clinic. They helped me through long COVID. They do all sorts. They help everything from traumatic brain injuries to erectile dysfunction. You got it. They'll take care of you. It's steelcitymensclinic.com. If you, and actually behind me, you guys all complain about what I have behind me. Epic Garage Designs is building me a nice little set for next week. So hopefully next week I'll have a nice badass set back there, and we can stop complaining about my Kalos jersey and my Redlands banner. So anyway, guys, and then if you need UTV, ATV, hit up revolutionor.com. That's revolutionor.com. All right, guys. Peace. Have a good day.